while this thing is warming up. So my name is Miriam Andrus, I'm the director of the Grace A. Memorial Library, and I am trying to get around to all of the townships by summer, hopefully, because summer is our like really busy season. So I'm trying to.
What library was it?
Grace A. Dow.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and now it's doing weird stuff.
And you just reopened, right?
So we've actually been open the whole time.
Oh,
We just were under construction, and so we had like a portion of the building closed. Let me see if this will do what it's supposed to do here. There we go, perfect, okay. So I grew up in Idaho. I'm from West, and my husband came here for optometry school, and we just stayed in Michigan. We love Michigan so much. We really do, because there's water and there's trees and there's a lot of people and there's stuff to do. But I grew up in a county, and it's about a 20-minute drive to get into the library for me. And so I really love doing outreach and community services and making sure that services can get out to people in the county, because I know what it's like to live far away from the library. That was mine growing up. And so we've had a lot of stuff going on. We've had floods and COVID and construction and trying to catch up on capital projects and roof leaks and all kinds of things. And now that some of that stuff is being managed, now I'm trying to get around to our county partners and go visit the townships and kind of let you know what your partnership means, because you guys are paying for library services so that your residents have access to the library, and I want to make sure that you know what is that? What does that actually get you? What does it get your residents? So this last year the library has actually celebrated 125 years of being open. So we started in 1900. We were actually a literary association you had to pay a membership fee for. Then in 1915, the library turned into a city department when a millage was levied, and Andrew Carnegie helped build the Carnegie Library, which opened in 1919 in the city. And so we are celebrating 125 years of the library and servicing the people in the Midland area. So just some information about the library in general. So we're a Class 6 library, and basically what that means is we serve more than 50,000 people. So we serve 12 townships within Midland County, and we are lumped in with the other really big libraries in the state. So Class 6 is as big as it gets. So when I go to conferences, I'm meeting with the directors of Grand Rapids, Lansing, Detroit, kind of the big libraries, which is great because I get to see what they're doing and get new ideas and be able to bring stuff back to Midland. But we serve 12 townships. We don't serve 2 in the top west corner and the bottom, the southmost west corner, because those are serviced by Coleman and then 2 libraries just south of us in the next county over. But we have 16,000 active library card holders. So that means that we've had 16,000 card holders come in our door in the last 2 years. So granted, we have been under construction for 6 months, and we've had some people avoiding the library for a little while, so some of their cards have lapsed. But specific in your township, we have 2,148 accounts, but of those accounts that we have, 741 have walked in our doors and physically used their card in the last 2 years. All right, so what do we have at the library? What are the services that you get? So we have over 200,000 items that you can borrow at the library, and of course they include books. Sometimes I forget that yes, we have books at the library, but we have so much more stuff at the library. And you can get books either physically or you can get them electronically. And we have audiobooks if you are somebody that commutes a lot or drives a lot. We have magazines, physical and digital, so if you have a favorite magazine that you like to get a subscription for, you can actually get it for free from the library. Just check it out. We also have movies. And if you don't know what to get, we do have a subscription service program where you can actually say, I want to read something, but I don't know what to read, and we will curate a collection for you to pick up at the library. Okay, we have a lot of programming. We have over 1,000 programs roughly that we hold each year, and that we try to make sure that every age group is accounted for, no matter If you've got kids, if you're an adult, if you're a senior, we wanna make sure that there's something for you to do at the library. So these are just some of the examples. We've got a baby time that happened at City Hall when we were temporarily relocated there during our construction process. We had kids' artwork that we put on display. We had the Dow robotics team come in and show little kids how robots work. We have a play structure in our building. We had a mud party. We do events outside where it's really hot, so kids are eating popsicles. But we have a lot of things for children to come in and do at the library. We have programs for our teens and tweens. Some of these pictures are some of our craft programs that teens were doing. We have a cram night where all of the kids from all of the school districts in our service area can come and just study. We feed them and it's like a lock-in, but for finals. We have classes where we teach sewing, and then we of course have our Battle of the Books programs, which are both almost going on 30 years now. So we have a Battle of the Books for 4th and 5th graders, and then our Battle of the Books for our middle schoolers, and those are sponsored by our friends at the library. And so the kids who win, they can actually get money that goes to their school to buy books to be housed at their schools.
What goes on in a battle of the books?
So the kids, it varies depending on age, but the elementary one is the one that most people are familiar with. Kids have 10 books that they have to read, and they basically memorize these books, and then it's kind of like quiz bowl style. They have to answer all the questions, and the kids that get the most questions right win. It's very fun, and it's a great way to get kids reading that would not have read otherwise, because there's peer pressure involved from their peers and to their teachers. And then of course, our adult programs. And our adult programs vary widely. So if you haven't come to a program at the library and you want something to do, other than our author talks and our presentations, like it was the 50th anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald, so we did a big program on that anniversary. We have author talks. We have our mid-lab, which I'll talk a little bit about more, where you can come in and create things. We do Lego programs. We have book expos where we have a bunch of authors that come and talk, and you can come buy stuff with books, book themed. We do tech help, so if you get a new iPad for Christmas, or you got a new phone and you need help downloading an app onto it, or or whatever, you can come in and our staff will help you with your device so that you can get it set up. And then of course we have a lot of family programs and community-based programs. So if you haven't heard of Neighboring Week, the Community Foundation has really been trying to amp that up, and the mayor asked that we come up with some kind of program to bring the community together. So we do floats with goats. We have celebrity servers from town that come and scoop ice cream, and we dish out about 1,000 root beer floats that evening, and we have 30 goats and some cows and a camel. Everyone can come and check out the petting zoo and have a root beer float. We have our summer reading kickoff. This is our summer reading kickoff from 2 years ago, but this year we are actually partnering with Whiting Forest and Dow Gardens, and we are doing a pancake breakfast on June 6th. You can come and sign up, have free pancakes, and then go see all of their giant animatronic dinosaurs that they're going to have in the gardens. And then Touch a Truck, which has been going on for about 40 years now, where kids can come in and check out the heavy equipment, but it's also an opportunity for kids to go in a school bus for the first time, perhaps before they start school. And they have that chance to know, what does a school bus look like before they actually start school just a couple months later. With your library card, we have a lot of digital resources, and I'll try to go through these quick, but we have over 20 digital platforms that have different levels of information in them. So consumer reports, I'm sure you're familiar with. You need to know how many cup holders are in your new in a car that you're looking at, or you need to figure out what electric toothbrush is going to be best. That is a great spot for you. Digital magazines, as I said, with Libby, and ebooks and audiobooks. Creative Bug is a database where it will teach you how to do any kind of crafting hobby, from watercolor, crochet, knitting, painting, needlework, felting, all those things. It teaches the class, gives you the list of the things, the supplies that you need for it. Learning Express Library is great if you have anybody in your life that is looking at studying for a test, whether it's ACT, SAT, the OAT, the DAT, the MCAT, the realtor's license, nursing degree. It allows allows you to log in, make an account, you actually take the test, it grades the test, tells you what you got wrong, and gives you all of the study materials so that you don't get those wrong when you take the test again.
That was on the
Yeah, it's Learning Express
Learning
Library.
Express.
Yep. The Michigan Electronic Library, so you might not know, but because you are residents of the state of Michigan, the state actually has a state library, which you can use. So you just need a driver's license to be able to access it. If you are close enough to the side of Michigan where it thinks you're in Wisconsin or Illinois, here you're going to be fine. You can just log in. But it has everything from historical records from towns all over the state to how to fix your car. You can type in your make and model of your car, and it has all of the diagrams and parts that might be missing or probable issues that there could be with it. There's just a plethora of resources. It's actually over $60 million worth of information that the state negotiates with different information databases to ensure that the residents of Michigan have access to good information that is not being supplied by a commercial entity or somebody that's got something to gain from it. White's Financial Ratings, that is again a neutral party financial database. It lets you do basic budgeting, insurance. If you are looking at getting new insurance or decreasing your insurance rates, you can actually view insurance companies locally in our area, and it will tell you how good they are at actually paying out claims. So that's a really nice resource. LinkedIn Learning is for anybody that is trying to brush up on any kind of digital or work skills. So if you need to get better at Microsoft Word, Excel, you're building a website, you are trying to manage your time better, any of that kind of information, you can get LinkedIn Learning and use it for that. We have a lot of businesses that they actually send their employees in to get library cards from us because they use it specifically for training employees. We have Canopy, which has over 30.
Before you go on,
Yep.
so for, if you wanted to learn some website stuff that you could learn how to do.
Yep.
The things
It
that
has-
you're training.
Yeah, it has over 5,000 classes on how to use different digital platforms. Canopy is a streaming platform, so you can think of it as Netflix, but for libraries. If you have a smart TV at your house, you can download the Canopy app and you can check out movies and watch them on there. And it also has a kids portal, so you can watch kids TV shows and things like that. The Midland Daily News, if you have a library card, then you can access the Midland Daily newspaper from the comfort of your home the minute it is available digitally. You don't have to have a subscription, and you just log onto the library's website and have access to that. You can read the newspaper in your pajamas. You don't have to wait for the postman to deliver it. And then we have Ancestry, which if you're into genealogy or family history, you do have to come into the library to use this one because Ancestry only allows libraries to have access to it. It's not available at your home, but we do have it. All right, so other things that are available to card holders only. So you have to have a library card to come in and use what we call the MidLab, which stands for Modern Innovation Design Lab. The MidLab has 3D printers, laser cutters, it has a sublimation machine. Those are the things that let you put pictures on cups and mugs and t-shirts and mouse pads and all those fun things. Our MidLab was actually part of the reason that we had some of our renovations. We opened it in 2023, and it very, very quickly outgrew its space. And so we ended up moving it up to the main floor, and it is available for anybody 12 or older, as long as they have a library card. And for the most part, it is free to use all of the things in this space. The only exception is if you need to buy a mug, we sell the mugs at cost. Because you're already paying tax dollars to use the space, we don't want to charge you extra for the other things. But if you're interested at all in learning how to laser engrave, or learning how to laser cut stuff, or 3D print things, or sew, or embroider, we teach classes on how to do all of the things, and then you can come in and use the space on your own free time outside of class hours.
By the way, this isn't a paid political announcement to everybody, but the shirts that I wore for my campaign, we made it here at the MidLab.
Yeah.
They showed us how to do it with all the things. Actually, they took pictures. They were
Yeah.
And they're just fantastic.
Yep, and it's run by a lot of, so I have a staff member that runs it, but a lot of the people that are helping are just volunteers. It's folks that have retired and they needed something to do and they came in and used it and they liked it and they just kind of stayed. And so it's a really great way to just be creative.
Used to be called graphic arts when I went to high school.
Yeah.
They've got a brand new giant laser printer
Mhm.
that will cut 1/4-inch plywood without any trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for them to have the training classes for that.
Yep, we're supposed to get the last in the doors hopefully next week. It was supposed to be this week, but we're not holding our breath. So then we also have our library of things. So we have our seed library, which you can check out seeds. It's actually just opened on the 9th of March. You check out seeds, you plant them in your garden. We hold classes on how to save those seeds. You turn them back into the library, they're saved for the next season, and then we end up having a hardy crop of seeds that will actually grow in our area really well. But if you kill your plants, we are not gonna judge you. You don't have to pay a fine or anything. But then we have our library of things. It includes everything from board games, puzzles, yard games, knit and crochet kits. We have robot, Lego kits, we have car code readers, we have metal detectors, we have underwater metal detectors, metal fishing things, thermal cameras, ice cream makers, canopies. I mean, we just have tons of things. It's basically something that you might need because you dropped your keys in the snow and don't want to go buy a $200 metal detector. Well, you just check it out from the library. We had 14 people check out metal detectors to find keys in the snow this winter. That's why I mentioned that, because it was very applicable.
Now,
And
was
then-
that a canopy that you can rent?
Yes, yep, you can rent canopies. We also have tables and chairs, which become really popular during garage sale season and graduate party season. And then we do outreach. So we do outreach, bringing people into the building, and then we go out of our building. So we do this a couple of different ways. We go to the parades, we set up library and lemonade stands at different parks around the county, and we have lemonade, and then we do programs to try to get people to come to different spaces. We go to different festivals that we are invited to. We Township, we've been to their fall festival each year because they called and we said, sure, we'd love to. So
You've
we go there.
actually been to our fall. I mean,
Yeah.
we do ours in the summer
Yeah.
3 times, so.
We have third
Appreciate
grade tours. We bring every student in third grade, whether they're in a parochial school or public school, and they come in and tour the library, and they get free books, and we talk to them about how the libraries work and what our library is like. And then we go to special events that are held as well. We also have my library staff go to classrooms and do class visits, and we bring teachers teacher totes. So if teachers in our school district need special materials, we will collect them, we deliver them to the schools, and then pick them up when the teachers are done.
So you do that in the fall, or when do you do the teachers?
We
or having the
do
third graders in?
third grade tours are happening right now, actually. Yep, if you look on our website, we actually have a warning because in the mornings from 9 to 11:30, there's just third graders everywhere. And so we tell people, just so you know, there's third graders in the building. So we try to make sure that everything, no matter if you're old or young or you just got a job or you just retired, that there is something for you to do at the library, because our mission at the library is to connect people to resources. And sometimes people just think, well, that's just connecting people to books, but it's not. It doesn't matter if you're trying to find the name of a choir director in town because you want to join a community choir, or if you're trying to find your long lost ancestor, we are there to try to connect you to whatever those resources are. So just a little bit about how the library works. So we have 2 boards at the library, and I appreciate you letting me drop in on your meeting tonight because this is actually my library board meeting night, and it got canceled because I didn't have enough to make a quorum, so it was kind of a last minute thing. But we have a library advisory board. It is appointed by the city council, and there is a township representative on my board. His name is Bill Rickards, and he is from Jerome Township. And I can get you his information if you're interested, but his job is to make sure that the townships are part of the discussion, that we're not forgetting about them when we're doing project planning and policy planning at the library. Then I have my friends of the library board. They're not geographically bound, they're volunteers from all over. but they primarily help us raise funds to do special programs at the library. For example, all of the third grade tours, all of the busing for third grade tours coming to the library is paid for by the Friends of the Library. And then the expenses of the library. So we have 54 staff at the library. I've got 17 full-time staff and the rest are part-time. And that obviously eats up the majority of our budget. It's staffing, the people that run the place. So we also purchase a lot of books and materials, and everything that I talked about, all those databases and resources, those go into that books and materials budget. And then we have our other operating costs for the facility. Things like heating, cooling, electricity, and all those fun things. Our total expenses last year was $4.5 million, and our total revenues last year were 5.6. We ended up somehow getting way more personal property tax allotted to us than we were anticipating, which was a good thing, but we hadn't been planning on it. And then we of course have our contracts with the townships and penal fines. And for those of you that didn't know, if you get a speeding ticket in Midland County, a portion of that ticket actually goes to either us or Pullman, and it's based on population. So for each township, penal fines are divvied out by the county, and then a portion comes to the library, and a portion goes to Pullman's library, because we're the only two libraries in the county, and then our contract revenue, of course. Okay, so, real numbers from our 24-25 fiscal year. So we had about 180,000 visits to the library, and about 600,000 items actually checked out, physical items, not our electronic. We had about 250,000 digital items that were borrowed, and 28,000 people that came to our programs. We answered 43,000 reference questions, people coming into the library needing help finding something or doing something, and then 231,000 visits to our library's website. So as I mentioned, we've been under construction for a little while. We just opened on the 23rd of February, fully opened on the 23rd of February, but we were working on better meeting the needs of our community. We are one of the last free places that you can just come and telework or meet with a community group and have free Wi-Fi. And we have found, especially since COVID, that we have people that are spending all day at our facility because they are either working or they're either traveled and they stop in the library. I think people just, and there's also places in town that closed that used to accommodate folks, and so we just find that our space is very much in demand. So we were able to put in this kitchen in the lower level. This allows parents to eat with their kids or grandparents to eat with their grandchildren and have a snack at the library so that they can stay a little bit longer in our space. Up in the top left, this is our quiet room, but it is also now our Friends of the Library retail market. So they have books for sale there, and that helps raise some funds to do programs and things that we do at the library. The picture on the top right, that is one of our new study pods. People can meet in there and tutor, have small meetings. We have a lot of custody trade-offs that happen at the library as well, and they meet in there with their social workers.
So can they rent I mean, I don't know how many that study pod would hold.
So the pods fit 4, or, I mean, it could fit 6, but 4 is very comfortable. And they're just on demand.
So
You
just
show up and
first
it's,
come, first
yeah,
served?
first come, first
You
served.
can't reserve them.
No, those
Are
aren't
there-
reservable.
Are there any other conference rooms? that
Yes,
you-
yep, we have 3 other conference rooms, and then we have a lounge, which you'll see a picture of. We have our community room, of course, which fits 50, and then we have our auditorium, which fits 262. And I don't have anything about like our community room or our auditorium, but they are, I don't know how much you charge for Township Hall, but ours are like the cheapest place in town. I rented our auditorium for my daughter's birthday and we watched a movie with all of her friends because it was $25. So it's pretty darn cheap. We want to make sure that spaces are accessible for community members, and if they can't afford to use another space, their tax dollars are already going to help pay for the library. So really the fee that we charge is to make sure they actually show up, and then also our maintenance staff to set up and tear down whatever they need. So this is what our lower level news services area looks like now. So So my graphic designer that is also in charge of the mid-lab, we wanted to brighten up the youth services space. And so he created custom wallpaper that is all throughout the lower level now. So you can see Lake Superior with the Edmund Fitzgerald at the bottom is in our nonfiction section. We have a Michigan woodlands, and then we have the state of Michigan, which is kind of cut off there. You can't see it quite in the bottom left-hand corner. But all of our wallpaper also coincides with a seek and find, so kids can learn about the fish that live in the Great Lakes, all of our state birds and animals, and all of those fun things. So it's educational and colorful. So we also needed more just sitting spaces in the library. We didn't have a lot of places where someone could sit down and read or meet with somebody else, and so that was something that we really wanted to do. So our friends of the library actually purchased all of the furniture that you see in these three pictures. So we have our fireplace area that got a refresh and new furniture. The room that's on the top left, that is also a reservable space. It's called the lounge. And then the seating area on the top right is our large print area. And then again, the library is a place to work and play. One of the things that libraries don't do very well is, for whatever reason, we didn't have places for middle school kids. We have a teen room, we had a place for little kids, but we did not have a place for kids that are like third grade, kind of that 8 to 12-year-old. So with this renovation, the room that's on the right, we were able to add that space. It has a Lego wall, it has a big craft corner, and it has some reading pods, and then there's a bunch of games and tables that the kids that are in that 3rd to 6th grade now can come and hang out at the library. Those are our kids that have stopped learning to read, and they are reading to learn. And we wanted to make sure that they felt that they could continue coming to the library and continue to read. We have our public computers that moved to the upstairs, and we do have print and copy services available as well. And then we have our play structure, which is in the lower level, and it has been very, very popular and very, very busy since we've opened, because we don't have a children's museum here in Midlands, and we thought, where are parents going? They have to go to McDonald's and buy food. So we wanted a free place that parents could bring their kids, especially when it's nice and cold outside or super, super hot. So we are always trying to improve the library. We're growing our digital access. We've built onto our mid-lab and made it larger. We are always looking for ways to better serve the community and reach the residents wherever they're at, whether it's at their home, whether it's at their business, whether it's here at the Township Hall. And then we're also working with a lot of community partners to ensure that folks that want to improve their careers or grow their businesses have access to resources that they need as well. Which is one of the reasons that I'm here, because I want to ensure that if you have needs in your township, or if there's some way that we can partner with you to do things, we are looking for those partnerships, because we want to make sure that your residents are getting the needs that they have. Some of the things that we've talked about with, that I've talked about with some of the other townships that I visited, is we've been looking at starting like a books by mail program. So if there's somebody that has mobility issues and they cannot actually physically drive anymore, or they cannot see, that we can actually mail audiobooks to their house, or get them set up with the Library of Michigan that has a library for the blind. Or is it putting a library locker out at your township hall, so people don't have to drive into Midlands to pick up their materials, they can come to the township hall instead. So we're looking at some different things that we can do to better meet the needs of our residents that don't live right in the city proper.
We have some, and there's, in the senior citizens, there's some people who do, I mean, there are Meals on Wheels, for example, but some of those might be able to coordinate trips that people, those needing that, maybe would use that. So that's another potential source, and clientele potentially
Yep.
too, people from that center.
Yep, yeah, that's a fantastic idea. So, what would people do to be able to make sure that they're accessing the resources that we have? So first, of course, get a library card. It's easy to get a library card. You can actually fill out an application online, and if you can't come into the city, we can actually mail you your library card so you can have access to the digital resources. We do have an app at the library, and the app allows allows you to check your account, it has your digital library card on it, it has all of our programs on it, and it has all of our social media on it, which brings me to the next two. So you can sign up for our electronic newsletter, we send it out twice a month, just to your email. We also have a calendar that has a list of all of the events that we have going on at the library, and you can sort it based on your wants or needs, whether it's for kids, or it's for adults, or it's for seniors. And then, of course, social media, we have a Facebook and an Instagram where we post a lot of our events that are happening, but then we also post extra things. So during construction, for example, I would go through and show videos of what was happening with the construction, so that people kind of knew where we were at and what was happening at the building. The things that are coming up, so starting on May 4th, we are going to be doing a front landscaping renovation. For those of you that are familiar with the library, we have 3 very large planter beds that are right next to our auditorium side of the building. And nothing really grows in them except weeds. Well, that's because there is no sprinklers. We have no irrigation there. And so we're going to be putting in irrigation, but we're also going to be putting in some, you can see in the top right-hand corner, some brick kind of benches. Those are for safety, so that people can stop walking on the parking lot side of the sidewalk and will walk closer to the building. And should someone mix up the gas and the brake pedal, they're not going to get plowed over by a vehicle, because right now a lot of that parking lot is barrier-free, and so it is very easy for a car to drive up onto our sidewalk, which they do. Because in the 80s, the library did not have any sidewalks out front. You could pull right up to the building, and we do still have people try to do that on occasion. There will be new outdoor furniture for people to be able to use the free Wi-Fi and hang outside when it's a nice night. But probably everybody's favorite part of this is we are going to be doing a drive-through book drop, so they can not have to come into the building to return their materials. And I've had a lot of excited people about a drive-through book drop. All right, so that was my presentation. I very much appreciate you letting me come. Do you have any questions?
With the sense that with flood, we film lakes, flood is always a potential issue. What was done to prevent or help the building regarding flooding?
Yeah, so the Waco Library sits in the backyard. There used to be a V shape, and the bottom of the V was in the floodplain. And so when we flooded, when the dams broke, the water came in that V and then poured into the back of the library. So we were actually to obtain a permit from Eagle to build a dam back there and be able to leave it. We actually built a dam while we were actively flooding. It stopped the water, then we pumped the water over our little dam that we built, and we got permission from Eagle to keep it. And they said, we're good, so we're keeping it. So actually next spring, in 27, we're gonna be redoing the whole backyard of the library and putting in erosion control and trying to make an outdoor programming space back there. So it should not flood again in any of the ways that it has flooded. Next time if we ever flood, it's gonna be somebody flushed something down the toilet they weren't supposed to. So hopefully that won't happen. Any other questions? And I did bring some bags for you. This has information about the library. And if there's anything that you can think of, whether it is newsletters you send out to your residents, or postcards, or something that you could host here in the Township Hall, and we can get information out to the residents about the resources they have available to the library. We would be happy to make anything, or do anything, or whatever you think would help to make sure your residents know that they've got access to these resources. Please let me know, and my business card is in the bags. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.